Hello all. It's easy to be pessimistic about the new year. The headlines provide a relentless drumbeat of bad news. But that's what headlines do. Crisis is interesting, so media devotes a lot more time to things that are messed up rather than things that are improving. Unfortunately, over the next few weeks, this channel will be part of the problem. Before we fall back into that mess, I thought it would be worthwhile to look at some of the amazing things that are happening in 2016. If you just look at the headlines, you'd be forgiven for thinking that the Iran nuclear deal is hanging by a thread. It's not. Tension between Iran and the United States has been one of the most important drivers of world conflict for the past 35 years. Despite a president and a public that are dedicated to peace, one of these countries has a powerful class of government hardliners that will do anything to sabotage the deal and a crazy ideology that justifies their actions. Iran has many of the same problems. These ideas have kept the conflict going for decades, and it is only natural that they would lead to major threats to peace from both governments. What's amazing is that so far the hardliners have failed. Last Monday, December 28th, the Iranians shipped the majority of their enriched uranium to Russia, seriously hindering their ability to make a bomb. The missile controversy was most likely an effort by the Iranian government to look tough before taking this extraordinary step. The only good thing about the conflict in Syria is that it will provide more opportunities for cooperation with Iran. Sadly, there isn't much more good news in the Middle East, but if we switch our focus to Latin America, we see something very different. When we talk about these countries today, we use the language of economic development. Is the middle class still growing? Is the new trade deal a good idea? But not too long ago, we used a very different language. In the 1980s, no fewer than 5 Central American countries were engaged in murderous civil wars, costing tens of thousands of lives. If you think the Middle East looks hopeless now, imagine a region where Syria-level conflicts lasted for decades. That's what we had south of the border a few short decades ago. Since the end of the Cold War, most of these conflicts have subsided, but one in particular has been maddeningly persistent. The Colombian Civil War has lasted for half a century. At one time, the FARC rebels held as much as 40% of Colombian territory, and they still hold significant areas today. The conflict continued to kill people in 2015, but a peace process has been gathering strength. On December 15th, FARC and the Colombian government took another major step towards peace by agreeing to a framework for compensating the victims of the war and a truth commission to help settle these claims. Backsliding certainly remains possible, but 2016 could finally see the resolution of this decades-long conflict. The talks resolving the Colombian Civil War are taking place in Havana, Cuba. This is pretty surprising from a 20th century perspective. Cuba and the United States used to send agents south to start civil wars, not to end them. On July 20th, 2015, the United States formally reopened its embassy in Cuba, marking the resumption of full diplomatic ties between the two countries for the first time since 1961. 25 years after it ended everywhere else, the Cold War is finally ending in Latin America. U.S. hardliners are still trying to derail this process and maintain the U.S. embargo against Cuba, but they are very likely to fail in the next year or so. 2016 will have plenty of depressing news to follow, and there are certain to be nasty surprises as well. As we watch these train wrecks, it's important to remember that they aren't the only things happening. There are more wars ending than beginning. If we pay attention, we can see that the world is actually becoming a much better place, not a worse one. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And if you'd like to help me make more videos like this one, please click on the Patreon link here to find out how.